and not to be attached onto each other. So enjoy life in the present. That's what I teach. I teach people to enjoy life, the pleasurable life that you have, and what this life could afford for you. But love each other in a non-attached way, which is the hardest thing ever to do.
And then come back to death, right? To the attachment, right?
You must strengthen your practice so that you know the how to detach. How. The Buddha taught the how. That's the big difference between Buddhism and any other religion. You know, Jesus taught the what, we taught the how. And Jesus says if someone smack you, turn the other cheek. Right. And then we Buddhists are like, how? Or anyone can say how, you know, especially if you have a gun in the car. If someone cut off you in traffic, you're angry and you need to forgive the other person. How do I forgive? When my family is in the car, you know, when my family is in the car, I have children in the car, he almost killed us, right? Yes. So the mind is a very interesting thing. We can have 6 PhDs and still not understand fully the mind.
Yeah, correct. Right. This is there's difference between realization in the mind and intellectual understanding, you know.
Right.
I think I totally made a difference between that, and that's thanks to Dharma.
Yeah.
Dharma makes a difference.
Yes.
And that's why I'm a bit afraid personally about what is happening in the West about Dharma, because I think that there is the Dharma is becoming very intellectual in the West.
Right. They want to know. The problem here is, so I've been a monk 9 years. I've been teaching for a long time. My specialty is Buddhist psychotherapy. Trị liệu tâm lý học, tư vấn, nhất là hôn nhân và gia đình, especially for married couples. So I also conduct research with my students, and there's a way to measure scientifically how people practice, what people know, what people want to know, and what they don't want to know. And the problem in the West is that, yeah, they do want to know intellectually.
Yes.
They want to like ask about how did the universe get started? Does God really exist? Or what is Arahant? And it's the job of a teacher to readjust where they're at in their life. And we look at their present suffering. We ask them questions like, are you suffering right now? Where are you suffering right now? And are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of your suffering? Do you want to change? And then we have to adjust accordingly to what we think that they should know at this time. So if they want to keep on knowing, then there's Wikipedia and Google.
But you know, I've been 15 years in Asia, and I follow some teachers in the West, in the East, but I can really see that in the West, I feel there is this intellectualization of the Dharma, which is very strong, and they have a deep understanding, sometimes more than in Asia. The understanding of Dharma is so deep and it's so clear, but it's just intellectual. There's no samadhi, there is no realization.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would like to mention to you as well, that's why I turned myself a bit away from Western teachers, because I noticed 2 things. First, many of them don't have samadhi, they don't have any realization, but they have very deep understanding about Dharma. Right. They know. And they have 20 years, 30 years practice, but there is no samadhi. The second thing I noticed with Westerners is that they mix up the Dharma with the ideologies. Feminism, wokeism, diversity, democracy, whatever. And you know, I met a teacher from Nepal in November. I like to repeat to her, but in November I met a teacher in Vietnam from Nepal, and he warned us. He said, ideologies might not be a problem. You can be follow democracy, you can be feminist, whatever it is, but you don't need to mix it with Dharma. Dharma has to stay authentic. Dharma doesn't have to mix with ideologies, especially political ideologies. He says it's not a problem if you follow any ideology. You can be feminist, but you don't need